Good evening. Thanks for joining us on India Business Hour. I'm Shireen Bhan. The headlines we're tracking for you this Friday evening. The Sensex and the Nifty gain 1% this week despite snapping an 8-day winning streak on Friday. Majority fund managers polled by CNBC-TV18 see the Nifty above 20,000 by the end of the year. Expect bank stocks to lead the charge.
3, 2, 1.
Ideaforge takes off on Dalal Street. The drone maker lists at a premium of more than 90% from its IPO price, making it the most successful debut in nearly 2 years. Reliance Retail moves to reduce its equity share capital, offers to buy non-promoter shares by paying 1,362 rupees per share. The move needs to be approved through a special resolution and would also need the blessings of the company law tribunal. Supreme Court pulls up SpiceJet for not paying 75 crore rupees to former promoter Kalanithy Maran as directed by the Apex Court 4 months ago, slams the airline for indulging in luxury litigation and orders to pay the entire amount. Maran claims the outstanding dues stand at 380 crore rupees. The new Congress government in Karnataka presents its first budget with an outlay of more than 3 lakh crore rupees, increases taxes on Indian-made liquor and beer to raise funds, allocates 52,000 crore rupees to fulfill its key poll promise, including unemployment benefits and free bus rides for women. Twitter threatens to sue Meta over its newly launched social media platform. Threads accuses Mark Zuckerberg of unlawful misappropriation of Twitter's trade secrets and other intellectual property. Elon Musk says competition is fine, cheating is not the new platform, gains 50 million users in just 24 hours. On a 4-day visit to Beijing, U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen speaks out against the unfair treatment of U.S. companies by China, justifying the need to diversify supply chains. But she also cautions against disagreements between both nations worsening the relationship. No relief for disqualified Congress MP Rahul Gandhi in the defamation case over the Modi surname remark. The Gujarat High Court rejects his plea against the conviction order by Surat District Court, says the lower court order was just, proper and legal. Congress party says it will challenge the order in the Supreme Court. Skyrocketing tomato prices forced McDonald's to temporarily drop it from its burgers in North and East India. Burger King says it's also facing challenges but keep tomatoes on the menu for now. Well, let's start this Friday evening with the market action. The Sensex and the Nifty ended the week with a 1% gain despite declining on Friday. Stock snapped an 8-day winning streak on Friday after what was a record-breaking week. The Sensex comfortably above the 65,000 mark despite a 500-point fall in trade today. So does this rally have more legs, and where are the markets headed? A majority of fund managers expect the Nifty to hit 20,000 before the end of the year. Surbhi is standing by to take us through the CNBC-TV18 poll of fund managers and where they see the markets by the end of the year. Surbhi.
Well, indeed, Shireen, what a scintillating run the market has seen in the last 3 months. That's April, May and June. So we did a poll to figure out how the second half could be. 76% of the respondents say the market is heading higher in the second half. So the question is, where will the Nifty be? Well, here the majority, that's almost 42%, feel that the Nifty will be between 20,000 to 21,000. The next biggest group, that's about 21% of the respondents, they feel the Nifty could be between 19,000 to 20,000. Interestingly, at least right now, very few fund managers feel that we'll see a mega rally that could take the Nifty beyond the 21,000 mark. That's just less than 10% of the respondents. Let's move to the next one. So which sector is going to lead the market higher? Here the consensus is on financials. 63% feel that it's going to be bank stocks which will take things higher. Autos, now this auto sector has actually already rallied 22% in the first half. Despite that, fund managers feel we'll see more gains in auto, also in FMCG. Interestingly, despite a very weak outlook for the IT sector, particularly in the first quarter, 40% of the respondents say that it can still be a meaningful contributor in the second half of the calendar year. So where will the bank Nifty be by the end of this year, considering the consensus is pretty formidable on banks leading the market? Well, on the bank Nifty, the majority of the respondents say that that index will be between 45,000 to 47,500. 21% actually see it heading even higher, That's 47,500, which would make it to about a 5% up move from where we are. Almost no fund manager is expecting any meaningful correction in banks in the second half. You can see that just 3.6% expected to fall to 40,000. Will we see heightened IPO activity in the second half? The answer is yes. If you're going by the majority, almost 70% feel that we will see more primary market action. And what is the biggest risk? Well, here fund managers say that it is the US recession or a global slowdown along with geopolitics, which have emerged as the biggest risk factors for the market in our survey. The 2024 general election outcome is also weighing on fund managers' mind, but it's not that big a risk. Tighter monetary policy isn't seen as a big threat either. And interestingly, the street, as of now, isn't too worried about the El Nino impact or the fact that monsoons have been suboptimal in the month of June.
All right, so many thanks. So 40% of the fund managers polled see the Nifty above 20,000 by the end of the year. We will have to see. Now, India's largest drone maker, Ideaforge, has made a stellar Dalal Street debut. The company shares listed at around 1,300 rupees a share, and that is a premium of more than 90% from the IPO price. This makes it the most successful listing in nearly 2 years. Speaking to CNBC-TV18, Ideaforge CEO Ankit Mehta said the company's capacity can grow threefold.
Currently, the capacities that we have is about being able to do close to 9 drones a day. And that capacity is only a single shift capacity, right? And then the drone mix, as it evolves, the revenues from the mix can evolve a little bit based on that. But the capacity itself can scale up to 3 times in the same facility, right? Because we are doing currently only a single shift operation. So there is a lot of room for growth in terms of capacity itself in the existing infrastructure that we have.
Well, strong listing there for Ideaforge, and Hormuz is here with more on the debut and how it stacks up against other successful listings. Hormuz.
It was a bumper listing indeed for Ideaforge, and it's been a while since the market has had this kind of a listing. And Ideaforge listed at 1,303, which was a 93% premium from its IPO price. It closed at around 1,294, 1,295, so around the same as its listing price. And by being a while, I meant that it is the best listing that the market has had in nearly 2 years. And the last such listing that we had was Latent View Analytics, which incidentally happens to be the most subscribed IPO in Indian history. Now that listed at a 169% premium to its issue price. And just a month before that, in October of 2021, we had Paras Defense, which nearly tripled from its issue price. Now there have been other issues as well: MTR Tech, Tattvachintan Pharma, Happiest Minds, Route Mobile. The last 2 of them in particular, they listed during the COVID year of 2020. Happiest Minds doubled from its IPO price. Route Mobile also listed at an 85% premium. I'd also want to mention Salazar Technologies, which at one point of time was the most subscribed IPO in India. That too also listed at a 140% premium from its issue price. So all in all, it has been a memorable day for Ideaforge, its management, and for those few lucky shareholders who managed to get an allotment.
Hormuz, many thanks for joining us. Now, Reliance Industries begins the process of listing Jio Financial Services. This after the company received the approval from the National Company Law Tribunal for its demerger. Jio Financial Services will bring in treasury shares of Reliance worth 1 lakh crore rupees as capital. And staying with the Reliance Group, Reliance Retail has unveiled a plan to decrease its equity share capital, specifically targeting shares held by shareholders other than its promoter and the holding company. The decision has received the green light from the company's board of directors at the meeting that was held on the 4th of July. Now, as part of this plan, the shares held by affected shareholders will be cancelled and rendered null. In compensation, these shareholders will receive a consideration of 1,362 rupees per share. The valuation for determining this compensation has been conducted by 2 independent registered valuers. Affected shareholders will receive a notice outlining the details of the proposed capital reduction. Do note that the execution of this capital reduction plan is contingent upon approval via special resolution, as well as obtaining necessary endorsement and confirmation from the National Company Law Tribunal, the Mumbai bench. Now, the Securities Appellate Tribunal will deliver its order on Zee Entertainment MD and CEO Puneet Goenka's plea challenging market regulator SEBI's interim order. That order is expected on the 10th of July. In an order last month, SEBI had restrained Goenka and SL Group Subhash Chandra from holding any key managerial positions in listed entities on alleged fund diversion. So this is going to be a crucial order to to watch out for. It is a setback for SpiceJet. The Supreme Court has directed the airline to pay the entire arbitral award to Kalanithy Maran, the former promoter of the airline. This after the cash-strapped airline failed to pay 75 crore rupees to Maran, as was directed by the Supreme Court on the 13th of February. Maran has claimed the outstanding arbitral dues to be about 380 crore rupees. The apex court also came down heavily on SpiceJet for what the court said was luxury litigation. Ashmit is standing by with the details. Ashmit, take us through what the court has said and where this now leaves SpiceJet.
Well, their options are increasingly limited. They were hoping that there's some form of settlement with the Marans may take place with this upfront payment of 75 crores. But that clearly did not happen. Keep in mind that on 13th of February of this year, the Apex Court had issued a very clear directions that we're giving you 3 months' time, pay that amount of 75 crore rupees, see if there's some room of settlement as far as Marans are concerned. However, that amount did not get paid up. Subsequently, the Delhi High Court said you have to pay the entire arbitral amount. They challenged that before the Apex Court, and today is when the hearing came up. Justice Chandrachud-led bench was not happy with the conduct of SpiceJet. They did not have kind words to say. As you said, they pointed out that this is tantamount to luxury litigation where well-heeled parties are deploying a battery of lawyers to defeat the order of the Apex Court itself. He, in fact, went on to observe that if the Supreme Court orders are not complied with, there should be consequences. There should be some degree of commercial morality. That's the message that Justice Chandrachud wanted to send out. And with that, rejected SpiceJet's application for an extension in terms of time for payment of that 75 crore rupees, and instead has now said that the arbitral award in its entirety is payable. Now, what does that mean? The arbitral award goes back to 2018 for an amount of 579 crore rupees. Plus 18% simple interest. Now, it's the interest component that's the significant part here. The principal stands satisfied. 579 crore rupees has been paid. The contention is on the interest component. Marans now claim that an interest burden of 380 crore rupees needs to be paid up by the SpiceJet. So again, more worries here for the cash-strapped airline.
Ashmit, many thanks for joining us. Let's shift our focus now to Karnataka. Chief Minister Siddaramaiah presenting his 14th budget in the state. This year's budget has an outlay of over 3 lakh crore rupees. Of this, about 52,000 crore rupees has been allocated to fulfill 5 of the poll promises, which include unemployment benefits and free bus rides for women. The government has also increased the excise duty on Indian-made liquor and beer to raise funds. CNN News 18's Ritu brings us the budget fine print.
Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah presented his 14th budget with an outlay of 3.27 lakh, and the major chunk of this budget will be for the 5 guarantees that the Congress party announced during their manifesto earlier this year in the month of May ahead of the assembly elections. Now, the Congress government has said that the government will be spending around 52,000 crore for all the 5 ambitious guarantees to be implemented annually, and also that now important is also that the opposition is also attacking the Congress government for increasing the taxes the way that the government is trying to mobilize the fund for the guarantees. The government in fact decided to increase the additional excise duty on the Indian-made liquor by 20% and the additional excise duty to be increased on beer from 175% to 185%. Now, what is important is that what is in the budget for the IT city Bengaluru. In fact, the Bengaluru will be getting more upgraded roads. Around 1,000 kilometers of roads will be upgraded is what the government has said, and around 800 crore will be spent for the white topping, and majorly that the 20 sewage treatment plants will be upgraded as well. So that's majorly for the IT city Bengaluru. On the other part, there was a lot of controversy related to the Nandini brand earlier during the election when the BJP was in the power. So this time the Congress government in their budget in fact has said that the government is very much confident and ensuring that they will be protecting the Nandini brand at any cost across the state and also try and promote it to the international level as well. On the other hand, the government has also said that they are committed to to replace the national education policy as well. So yes, that is majorly about the budget of the Karnataka this time.
Well, that is the latest as far as the Karnataka budget is concerned. J.K. Arora, the chairman of Soam Distillers, expects prices to increase by between 5 to 10 rupees a bottle. This after the Karnataka government's decision to hike excise duties. Take a look.
Taken price increase at the just beginning of the season in the month of the March only. So this is going to be a 5 to 10 rupees a bottle, depending on the price. A premium beer is going to be 10 rupees expensive, and middle level beer mass segment is going to be around 5-6 6 rupees a bottle.
Well, let's move to the big global story that we've been tracking. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen met American businesses in Beijing today on the second day of her visit. Speaking against the unfair treatment of U.S. companies by China, Yellen said she is concerned about China's latest export curbs. She also said that China's actions justify America's push to diversify supply chains. Yellen also clarified that the U.S. is not seeking to separate its economy from China and stressed that healthy economic competition benefits both sides. Yellen's visit to Beijing. Now, Twitter has threatened to sue Meta over its newly launched social media platform Threads. Elon Musk on Twitter has accused Mark Zuckerberg of unlawful misappropriation of Twitter's trade secrets and other intellectual property. Musk tweeted, and I quote, "Competition is fine, cheating is not," end of quote. Meanwhile, the new platform has gained 50 million users in just the last 24 hours. Renowned venture capitalist Vinod Khosla, who's an active user of Twitter, is also planning to join Threads. Speaking at the money-controlled startup conclave, Khosla said there are great learnings from both Twitter and Threads. He also shared his views on the funding winter and the road ahead for Indian startups.
What do you make of the cage fight between Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg? Who's going to win that one?
I don't know about that, but the more important fight is between Threads and Twitter. I think that'll be the determinant of the winner.
You've actually cued me to my next question. Have you joined Threads? And are you going to leave Twitter?
I'm not going to leave Twitter, but I'll probably join Threads too and be active on both. They're great learning platforms for me. I learn a lot from those threads. The funding environment is hard, but all that means is your competitors are also not getting funded. And so the capital efficiency of your startup, how much money it takes to build a startup, will be a lot less. So capital efficiency in startups will go up. Also, with all the layoffs, for really good entrepreneurs, it's a perfect time to hire. I keep telling our entrepreneurs, hey, fire the bottom 20% of your company and rehire them because the potential pool of employees is very large. So that's an optimistic view of that.
Well, that is Vinod Khosla. Now, there's no relief for disqualified Congress MP Rahul Gandhi in the defamation case over the Modi surname remark. The Gujarat High Court has rejected his plea against the conviction order by a Surat District Court. The High Court has said the order was just, proper and legal. The Congress party said it will challenge the order in the Supreme Court. The BJP, meanwhile, has revealed its election teams for 4 poll-bound states, elections in Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh and Telangana. Union Ministers Prahlad Joshi has been made the poll in charge of Rajasthan, along with co-in charge Nitin Patel and Kuldeep Bishnoi. In Chhattisgarh, along with Om Prakash Mathur, Mansukh Mandavia will work as the co-in charge. Bhupendra Yadav has been announced as the election in charge for Madhya Pradesh. He will work with Ashni V. Vaishnav as co-in charge. In poll-bound Telangana, Prakash Javadekar will be the election in charge with Sunil Bansal as the co-in charge. We will head into a break, but when we return, vegetable prices hit the roof. Households feel the pinch as grocery bills soar. A special report from Navi Mumbai's Vashi APMC when we return. Skyrocketing tomato prices have forced food chains to consider taking the vegetable off their menus. Prices have crossed 150 rupees across India. It's peaked to as much as 200 rupees a kg in several areas. In Uttarakhand, the master franchisee of McDonald's North and East India stores have said they are dropping tomatoes off the menu due to the non-availability of quality tomatoes that meet their specifications. It's not just tomatoes. Prices of other vegetables like chilies and capsicum have also risen steeply over the last few weeks. And it's not just restaurants that are feeling the heat. Shilpa Ranipeta says the entire chain, from consumers to traders to retailers in Mumbai, are feeling the pinch.
At the wholesale APMC vegetable market in Vashi on the outskirts of Mumbai, people are unhappy. They're having to shell out a lot more for basic vegetables than they had to even a couple of weeks ago. The mood at the nearby vegetable markets naturally is no better.
भाव रोज बढ़ते जा रहे हैं and there is no any constant value for this product.
Overall, the household income doesn't rise so much, but the expenses are rising.
ग्राहक बोलते हैं कि ये भाव में मिलना मांगता है, भाव में मांगता है. कहाँ से मिलेगा जब इतनी बरसात हो रही तो खेती सब तो धो के जाएगी ना.
First, it was unseasonal rains that damaged crops. Now it's monsoons. In just the last 2 weeks, prices of tomatoes have shot up from 20 to 23 rupees a kilogram to over 150 rupees per kilo across India. In some areas, it has even hit 200 rupees. The price surge is not restricted to tomatoes.
टमाटर तो अभी यहाँ पे 1100-1200 रुपया 10 किलो का रेट है। मटर का रेट ज़्यादा है, अदरक का रेट ज़्यादा है। अभी भिंडी जो है, भिंडी भी 500 रुपया हो गया। ये अपना जो शिमला मिर्ची है, शिमला मिर्ची का भी आज के तारीख में 700 रुपया रेट है। मतलब सब सब्जी के दाम बढ़ गए। इसकी वजह से अभी जब होलसेल में ये दाम है तो रिटेल में तो 30-40% ज़्यादा ही लेना पड़ेगा कस्टमर को। कोई भी रिटेल वाला 25 रुपया पाव किलो से कम तो बेचता नहीं है।
Even prices of grains and pulses have been rising. And this rise in the prices of essential kitchen commodities is hitting the lay consumer hard.
We are curtailing certain other expenses. And we are adjusting it. Because this month education, school institute है, उनके fees है, books है, other expenses are also there. दाल का भाव बढ़ गया है, आटे का भाव बढ़ गया है, गेहूं बढ़ गया है, चावल भी 10-15% बढ़ गया है।
लोग बोल रहे हैं इतना महंगा है तो कैसे हम लोग खरीदेंगे, ऐसा बोल रहे हैं। जो पाव किलो खाने वाला रहता है वो 100 ग्राम खरीदता है, 50 ग्राम खरीदता है। क्या करेंगे हम लोग भी?
Now, a slight increase in prices every monsoon season is common. But this year, the price rise has been brutal. Production has been hit by a combination of factors. First, a heat wave, followed by unseasonal rains, then a delayed monsoon, and in a few regions, when it did rain, it poured.
बारिश 7 जून में चालू हो जाती है महाराष्ट्र में। वो बारिश कम से कम 1 महीना लेट हो गई। उसकी वजह से जो फसल है वो लेट हो गया। और चालू साल महाराष्ट्र में जो हीट का प्रमाण था वो बहुत ही ज़्यादा था। मतलब जो टेम्परेचर था वो 40 के ऊपर था। वो टेम्परेचर की वजह से खेती में फसल कोई हो नहीं पाया। इसकी वजह से मंडी में जो माल आ रहा है वो एकदम कम आ रहा है। अभी वैसा देखेंगे तो डेली ये मंडी में 600-650 गाड़ी आनी चाहिए, लेकिन अभी जो गाड़ी आ रही है वो फिलहाल 400-450 मतलब 500 के अंदर ही आ रही है।
Experts say erratic weather patterns may hurt output in the Kharif season as well, fueling high food inflation across the country.
The higher prices. Now, for the vegetable prices to come down to regular levels, it may take at least another 2 months, and that too is contingent on sufficient rainfall and a favourable weather. In Mumbai, Shilpa Ranipeta.
Well, on that sobering note, it is time for us to wrap up this edition of India Business Hour. Thanks very much for watching. Do stay tuned to CNBC-TV18. The news continues from all of us here. Have a great weekend.